I am a huge football fan. I sit through the offseason watching player trades and getting my appetizer menu ready for college game days and NFL season openers. The excitement of watching different strategies from coaching staffs and the spirit of teamwork amongst the players on the field is something that will never get old to me. Coaching, whether in sports, business, or life skills, is a game changer. It accelerates learning and elevates the performance of teams and individuals. When we think about the action of coaching and improvement, there are a lot of similarities to my favorite game, and we'll dive into those shortly. For the purposes of our session today, let's define coaching as the ability to make things happen through inspiring and maximizing resources. Also, for clarity, please note this video will not address coaching for performance from a manager-subordinate perspective. With a lens focused on teams and individuals, we will explore what makes a good coach, when we should coach, and key behaviors and actions that enable success in coaching. Let's go back to that definition. Coaches make things happen and maximize resources using the lever of inspiration. They encourage their teams to do their best, strive for excellence, and get the most out of every moment. And remember the Titans. Coach Boone inspires a newly racially integrated football team on a journey to being champions.
Let me tell you something, you don't let anything, nothing come between us. Nothing tears us apart. Greek mythology, the Titans were greater even than the gods. They ruled their universe with absolute power. Well, that football field out there tonight, that's our universe. Let's rule it like Titans.
Coach Boone had his team dialed in and ready to win that game. He used inspiration to get his team to respond to the challenge at hand. Knowing who your team is, the environment in which they deliver, what excites them, and what deflates them, allows coaches to connect with individuals. Great coaches keep the why front and center for the team and keeps them grounded on the impact of the work they are doing. They also remind the team of the resources and levers they have if they get stuck. As a coach, you will not have all the answers, but you can influence the direction as more learning comes forward. Good coaches teach their teams to fish. They do not do the work for them because coaching is about growing people, capacity, and capability. So, why do frontline teams need coaches? In football, your head coach is the person that has all aspects of the game in mind as they motivate players to execute on their strategy. During the games, they use tactics that will give them the best chance for success. As the game goes on, the strategy can change according to the score, how much time is on the clock, and what personnel they have available to them. They make decisions in the moment based on the phase of the game they are in. As in football, frontline teams benefit from coaching by being inspired to execute. So, to coach or not to coach? That is the question. Let's use a 2x2 decision matrix with a focus on skill versus will to guide us on the best time to add a coach to a frontline team. We have 4 opportunities for consideration in determining if a frontline team needs a coach. Note that as skill increases, there is less need to lean in and more of an opportunity to allow the teams to move forward in autonomy. When there is high skill and will, we need to share the goal and the team will take it from there. When there is high skill and low will, we'll need to excite the team to get the work done. When teams are not highly skilled and they have low will or motivation, you will need to be hands-on and very involved. It will be a heavier touch than what we would expect from a coach. Our sweet spot for knowing when a team will benefit from a coach is when skill is being developed and the team is highly motivated to do the work. This is the team you will find the resource of coaching to be most beneficial for. So, what do you do if a team asks you to be a coach and they are not in our target skill will area? When it is unclear coaching is not needed, use this matrix to articulate what roles may be most beneficial to have on their team for success. One consultation can go a long way with respect, rapport, and future collaborations. You never want to give a no without context. Now we know the role of a coach and when a team will benefit from coaching. But what sorts of skills and behaviors are the foundation to successful coaching? Brian Ahern, people coach and trainer, says that a good coach listens, questions, has rapport, builds trust, facilitates with accountability, are consistent, and know when to apply pressure. From this list, listening and questioning will allow the other skills and behaviors to show up. How do you get better at these two? Try humble inquiry. Coined by Edgar Schein, humble inquiry is the fine art of drawing someone out. When you practice humble inquiry, you listen with the intent of going deeper. This will allow you to ask questions you do not already know the answer to, creating a climate of openness, building relationships, and developing agility and flexibility. To practice this skill and harness the power of humble inquiry, ask more questions by being curious about what people want, think, need, and feel. Listen instead of talking, to hear what's not being said and what is critical to know. Practice sharing and create transparency before it is needed. And practice asking and listening with the intention to learn something new. When these actions come into practice, you will find your teams feel safe speaking up and sharing ideas, and you will notice relationships blossoming.
The concept behind it, behind humble inquiry, is that improvement systems are social and they're technical. You can have all the tools, you can have all the answers, but we are still social creatures, and we have to engage along that humanity if we're hoping that systems that involve people can be improved. And in its simplest form, humble inquiry means, with humility, I'm going to ask questions that I don't know the answers to. I might ask a question if I know something's not right. How do we know that answer? So based on that, are there any other possible causes that may have been important in this problem? It's a way that we're having a dialogue around getting to an answer, as opposed to me saying, hey, you missed something here. And doing it that way, I really do think helps the person that you're coaching to learn. And that's one of the most fundamental pieces about coaching.
So in all sports, you'll find that coaching for correction is part of the game.
Everything we're gonna do is change. We are changed. We're gonna change the way we run. We're gonna change the way we eat. We're gonna change the way we block. We're gonna change the way we tackle. We're gonna change the way we win.
But when coaching frontline teams and individuals, we recommend you limit coaching for correction. So, what is coaching for correction? When you coach for correction, the coach is doing the thinking and problem solving. You are telling the team what they should be doing, telling them how to do it, and investigating for potential solutions. Coach Boone has this down to a science. When coaching teams and individuals, the most effective approach is to coach for development. Remember, coaching is about growing people, capacity, and capability. You want to enable your teams to do the thinking and problem solve. This happens by the type of questions you ask while in your coaching sessions. Ask questions to generate a different level of thought and engagement with the problem being solved. This style wins when coaching teams in improvement every time.
Well, what's the challenge if you just tell someone to do something? And the joke answer is they might do it. When we say people are our most valuable resource, we're not saying that because we're humanists. I mean, I consider myself a humanist. We're saying it because we have this incredible resource, everyone's brains. We want people to think, right? And so if you tell someone what to do, as opposed to asking them and showing intent, you remove any responsibility for them to think. And the whole point is to get them to think. It develops them, it gets better problem solving. And in the end, it advances the ideal that we're trying to create an organization of problem solvers. Coaching is one of those fundamental skills that leaders can develop that helps align where it is that we're going. And I want to stress the word develop. People aren't born being great coaches. This is a skill that you have to practice and practice and practice. How do I ask a question to advance the conversation here that's going to get us to better causes of a problem, better understanding of the current state, or better potential solutions, or better team harmony? How can I help this group function better as a high-performing team. It's a real skill set. I'd go so far as to say there's very few occasions where a coach, even with experienced folks, can't help.
So, to coach or not to coach? Depends on the skill and will of the team. When a team is motivated and they need direction, this is our sweet spot. When you have the opportunity to lean in and coach a frontline team, use inspiration to maximize the outputs of the team, because every situation where a coach is introduced, there is a chance to have a lasting impact on people, capacity, and capability.